Hello violin players! This video is to help you with Andantino in your Suzuki book. I'm going to play the first line of Andantino and then we will break it down. Ready, go. Okay, so if you're looking at your book, there may be some symbols that are a little confusing, so I want to explain those and then we'll talk about some of the skills in that first line. So first you'll notice over your quarter notes, like for example your third note of the entire piece, the A, which is marked with a fourth finger, which you will do, there's a dot. So that dot tells you to play that note short, not fast, but short, like this. Alright, so you're going to have a definite beginning and end to that note. So we'll practice that stroke in a second, but I want to go on to the second symbol, and it is under the half note in measure 2, and it has like a little, one of those, that's called an accent, and you just give that note a little extra oomph, like so. Here's measure 2. So I just gave that note a little punch, that half note. All right, so that's what you'll do when you come to those. So here is the bow stroke in our first measure. It is a reverse run pony jump pony. And notice, just like run pony jump pony, right? Short, short, long. Well, it's a reverse run pony jump pony, so instead of long, short, short, it's short, short, long, short, short, long. Alright, and then when we add our notes, that bow stroke doesn't change, right? Even if our left hand is doing something different, that bow will remain the same. So here's the first measure. Okay, I'm going to slow that down. Let's try that together. Ready, go. Okay, let's do that again. Ready, go. All right, you using that fourth finger? I hope so. All right, now in measure 2, you're going to get to the tip on that quarter note. So you're going to go short, short, tip, and then look at all that bow you have for the half note. So let's try that without fingers. Okay, let's try that. Ready, go. Tip. And count to 2 on that half note. Try that one more time without any fingers. Ready, go. Tip, half, note. So let's add our fingers now. It just steps down like hot cross buns and then back to an E. So here's measure 2. We're adding our fingers now. Ready, go. Let's try that again. Make sure you get to the tip on that quarter note. Ready, go. Okay, let's put that together. So here are measures 1 and 2. I'll demonstrate first. And let's try that together. Ready, go. And let's try that one more time. Ready, go. And if I continue on, measures 3 and 4, same deal. Alright, right, so you're just getting good at that repeating bowing pattern. So here's the entire first line, and actually I'm gonna go on to the second because the skills remain the same. So here are the first two lines, just so you can get that in context. Ready, go. So the second line is very similar to the first, just the last two measures are different. So practice those first two lines before moving on. Make sure you have that nice bow stroke going, because that's the point of this thing. And now I'm going to move on to the third line. I'll play it through. The third line is a contrast. It's like Allegro or Long Long Ago, where the third line is different than the rest. And like Allegro, this is a smooth third line, so those dots are gone. So here's how the third line sounds. Notice my nice smooth sound as I'm playing that line. Ready, and... Okay, just a couple things to point out in that line here, the first two measures. So does that rhythm in measure 2 look familiar? It's just a smooth version of the rhythm in measure 2 from the first line. All right, let's try the first two measures of the third line as best you can. If it helps when I'm doing these first playthroughs, if it helps you to shadow bow or to just move your fingers along before you actually join me, that is totally fine. You may need to work up to being able to play it with me, and that is absolutely fine. The beauty of YouTube is that you can watch the videos over and over. So here are the first two measures of the third line. I'm setting my first finger on my E string, my high F sharp. This is my first time on the E string, so I'm making sure that my elbow and wrist look good. And here are the first two measures of line 3. 1, 2, ready, and... And let's do that one more time to make sure our rhythm is correct. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, if you need more times than that, pause the video, but I'm moving on. Next two measures, it's a scale going down. Please use fourth fingers when they are marked. And then you'll notice a little RIT at the end underneath. That just means to slow down. So it's like Allegro, where you slow down, there's a little dramatic pause, and you reset and go to the last line. So here are the last two measures of the third line. Dramatic pause, but no bow lift, you won't need it, and then you would go on. So now I'm going to play the third line and the fourth line so you can hear that transition. Fourth line is the same as the second, but there is one little difference, and I will point it out when we get there. Here are the third and fourth lines. 1, 2, ready, go. so that little thing that looked like an eyeball with an eyebrow that's hanging over between the second to last and last measure just means that you're gonna pause. If you see that over a note, that would mean you hold the note long, but when it's over no notes, it's usually a pause. So you go pause, and then you are done with Andantino.